everybody, it's Gus with Egypt Adventures Travel. I am on a public bus heading to Ramses train station. This video is going to show you, instead of taking the train to Alexandria, how you can hop on a microbus and get from Cairo to Alexandria. Let's get started. You can get to the Ramses train station by taking the Cairo Metro or by taking pretty much any bus that you see downtown. You just have to say Ramses, Ramses. If the bus is going there, it'll stop and you can get on. I'm walking over to the train station now after I got off the bus. There's tons of microbuses that go from the Ramses train station to Alexandria. You just have to go up to the train area and you'll hear men standing on the side of the road shouting the destination the bus will go. If you want to go to Alexandria, so you have to listen to them saying Alexandria, 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 and just get into one of those buses.
Here's the Ramses train station, and I'm just showing you the area where you can get one of the microbuses. When the camera pans right here, this man standing in front of this microbus is the one that I took to get to Alexandria.
So I got in the microbus and I went to a few different ones because I really wanted to get to Alexandria right away. So you can actually look at the bus and see how many seats are empty in the bus before getting on. So I went to one that just had one seat left. Of course, that means that I'm in the worst seat in the bus, in the middle between the driver and the passenger in the passenger side of the van. But hey, it's worth it for me so that I can get going a little bit sooner. That's one of the tricks about microbuses. One of the benefits and the drawbacks is that if you're taking a microbus, you have to wait for it to fill up with people. It doesn't fit on it doesn't go on a set schedule. So if you get a ticket for a company like GoBus, or if you take the train, you know exactly when you're going to be departing. But with a microbus, you can show up anytime, so it's convenient, but you might have to wait for a little bit for it to fill. I made sure to leave around 9:15 a.m. because that's a common time for a lot of people to be trying to head from Cairo to Alexandria. So that's why I was able to get on a bus right away. When you're taking a microbus, you can bring usually a small bag, and you may be able to bring a carry-on size piece of luggage. Sometimes the driver will put the luggage up on top of the bus for you and tie it down. People on this bus I've noticed who had carry-ons were having to put them in their laps. So I always recommend, if you're taking a microbus, to try to just travel light and just travel with a backpack. You pay your fare at the very, very end of the bus ride, so you hold on to your money until the end. I'm not even sure how much this microbus is going to cost, but I'm guessing it's going to be around 70 Egyptian pounds. And I just usually ask other passengers what the fare is, or I wait for them to pay before I take out my money to pay the driver. One another important thing to note, when you're going to Alexandria, you want to make sure that your bus that you're taking is going to the downtown area where most of the hotels and historic sites are. So you want to clarify with your driver that your bus is going to the train station, the main train station in Alexandria. It's called Mahatit Masr. So you want to say to the driver, Mahatit Masr, Mahatit Masr, to make sure that the driver is going to the right place in Alexandria. I've taken a microbus before where I said Alexandria and I got on the bus and it dropped me off in a really far away part of the city, and I had to probably take another hour-long bus to get to the right spot. So make sure that you know that the bus you're going to, or the bus you're getting on, is going to Mahatit Masr.
The blue dot shows where we are on the map, and I'm just going to show you how far we've come. So I started the trip in Cairo at Ramses train station right here, and then the bus quickly got out of the city and got onto the Cairo Alex Desert Road, which we're on right now, and we are almost to Alexandria, where I'll get out.
We made super good time. It took only about 2 hours and we're already on the outskirts of Alexandria, whereas the train would usually take about 3 hours to get to the station. I'll see how long it takes to actually get through Alex and get to the train station. This is the part of the ride where everybody's getting their money ready to pay the driver. You probably won't have exact change. This ride is 65 Egyptian pounds. But if you give your money to somebody, they will figure out how much change you need and will hopefully get it back to you. A lot of times when you're taking a bus, they will stop at a rest stop to let people have a smoke break or use the bathroom or buy some food. This driver seems like he's focused on just getting us to the destination as quickly as possible, which I appreciate. We only stopped one time for him to use the bathroom on the side of the road behind the bus. Otherwise, we've just been speeding right through to Alexandria. Now that we're on the outskirts of the city, people are starting to get off, so the bus is just gonna stop whenever people want him to stop. He'll stop at any place and let people off anywhere, but you want to stay on until you get to the last stop, which is going to be the train station in the downtown part of Alexandria, the old part of downtown. So now there's only 3 of us left in the bus. Everybody else has gotten off at different points. There was a kind of a not a physical fight, but a verbal fight over the fare, because when people were paying, they weren't getting the right change back, apparently. I wasn't really paying attention when stuff like that happens. I just try to avoid it. But we are in Alexandria now, in downtown, and we're heading to the train station where I will get out. I would say overall, the positive benefits of taking a microbus to Alex is it's no set time schedule, so you can go whenever you want to go. I was able to show up at the train station and get on a bus within a couple of minutes because I picked one that was almost full, and get on the road right away. So that's one benefit. If you don't have a set schedule, you can just get on the bus and go whenever you're ready. Another benefit is that the bus is a little bit cheaper. So usually a train ticket is a little bit over £100 for a first class ticket. This bus was only £65, so it's a little bit cheaper for folks who are really on a budget. And it can be faster. I've heard that the train now is taking over 3 hours to get to Alexandria, whereas this bus ride in total is going to take about maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes. So you could be in the bus, or you could be on the train for 3.5 hours or 4 hours, but the bus could get you there in under 3, but it is dependent on traffic. So for the drawbacks of taking a microbus instead of taking the train, a train's going to be way more comfortable if you're taking first class. Right now there's nobody sitting next to me, but when the bus was full, I was cramped up in the middle seat right next to the driver, and it was pretty uncomfortable for the 2 hours that I was sitting in that position. The first class train has really wide seats that can recline and have a footrest for you, and way more comfortable. Second drawback is the bus doesn't have any opportunities to use the bathroom if the driver doesn't stop. So the driver never stopped along the way to use the bathroom, and so I didn't drink any water, so I didn't have to use the restroom. But on the train, there's a restroom in the first class cabin that you can use at any time, and it's usually pretty clean and reliable. So no bathroom, not as comfortable. And also some people like having a set schedule. Some people like purchasing a ticket knowing the train will leave at 8 a.m. and will arrive to Alexandria hopefully within 3 to 4 hours. Having kind of that unpredictable schedule of taking a microbus might not be for everybody. So I've made it to Alexandria. I'm outside of the train station, which is that white building right there behind that statue that has scaffolding. Area is under construction, so it's a little bit hard to show you, but I'll also put a picture in of what this area looks like. So I just showed you how to take a microbus from Cairo to Alexandria, and it took me just about 2.5 hours. So I hope that you can try that out when you are in Egypt on your own Egypt adventure. I'm Gus with Egypt Adventures Travel. Thanks for watching.
Here's a nighttime shot of Mahatat Masr train station in Alexandria. This was my final stop on the microbus.
Check us out on Instagram or Facebook at Egypt Adventures Travel, or go to www.egyptadventurestravel.com.